David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I'd just like to support the comments made by the previous two speakers in regard to this bill. It's a bill that there should be a lot of support in this House for, and then the super fund itself has a lot of support within this House and within the public in general as well, because everybody understands the need to provide for one's superannuation needs in the future, and that the position where the government can assist in that through the super fund is something that everybody has universal support for, I would imagine, in this House. There may be some smaller parties that don't agree with the legislation, but their concerns, I don't think, are really relevant to the bill as it stands. They're more policy aspects in which those parties have a problem with any investment. Just like to, the last speaker mentioned that politicians are not experts generally in investing money. I think those were his words. That's very interesting to hear when that is the member that says that politicians are experts in their investment in Kiwibank, and he would like to have that supported with a 75% support. So interesting to see that member talking about his own his ability to make that judgment in regard to banking, but not in regard to superannuation. And there's a slight difference there, I'm sure, in Mr Cosgrove's mind, but not in the reality of finance. So if we have a look at the bill, the changes to the bill relax the control restriction to allow the guardians to control passive holding subsidiaries. So they're described as fund investment vehicles. You all right, Mr Cosgrove? You still there? Yeah. Okay. Now, that's in section 59 of the bill. And so that relaxation is to enable them to make the prudent investments as the fund managers of our superannuation fund. That's to enable them to do it more efficiently, and it also prevents them from holding or taking substantial controlling interests, which is an important part because that's not actually their mandate. They're seen as more of trying to get the returns for New Zealanders through the superannuation system rather than actually becoming managers or corporate governors as such. A few other changes around the board. Previously, they couldn't delegate any powers of attorney, investment management custodian. Those restrictions have been removed in this bill, so that's an important part of the legislation as well. So effectively, this bill amends the powers that the board has and also the superannuation fund has in its investments. That's an important part of progressing the super fund so that it can deliver those results for New Zealanders in their superannuation, and we look forward to this bill passing through the House, and the parties that may not support it, I think New Zealand First have indicated that they may have a problem with it. They're in support. Well, that's good to see, so I think we're going to get good support through the House, Mr Speaker, and that's good to see for New Zealanders going forward. Thank you.